Hi everyone, well, another video about my beloved Mercedes-Benz, and I'm gonna show you how I'm going to upgrade my front brakes on this vehicle. So while I will be doing a replacement procedure, I will be talking about why I am upgrading those brakes, what's the main reason for that. So before you start anything, make sure that you apply parking brake if you work on the front brakes like I am, and or use at least some kind of wheel choke behind your rear wheel. Now, I don't think that I need to go again through all of the information about why I'm using that preferred jack and those jack stands with the rubber pads underneath of the vehicle, because I've been showing and explaining all of that in my previous video when I've been replacing front wheel bearings. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So I'm trying to lift up high enough that I can install jack stands underneath. So let's see, I guess a little bit higher. I don't like to work with so as you see, this is a special design for this particular model. Yeah, so I'm going to put across, and same on the other side. Okay, I'm going to slowly lower the vehicle and check if it's aligning. Okay. Good on this side. Let's check other side. And we're all good. Now I'm ready to drop it. Okay. Now just verifying if everything is firmly, sitting firmly. And let's start with removing the wheel. So, the main reason why I'm replacing brake discs, even though they are a couple months old, under 6 months, because they are warped, both of them, both front discs. So what happened is that why I got them warped or overheated, because I do drive a lot to Canada up north, and each trip it's 3,000 miles, and during this trip I can choose 3 different routes how I'm driving. Every one of them going to have their own let's say obstacles. Some of them will be some overpasses, hills, downhills, uphills, lots of little towns or villages. So either I do have to apply brakes pretty often, or the system is applying for me, especially if I'm using this adaptive cruise control, which is a Disktronic Plus. So this procedure will be applicable for the owners with the same model and the same brake caliper setup as I have. And so if your caliper looks different, then obviously you don't really have to watch this video all the way, unless you are interested in how everything works and what's the main reason why I'm upgrading those brake discs. So 6 months ago I installed the brand new discs. I ordered them from one of the Mercedes dealers on the East Coast, and the price was good, so they shipped it to me. And I did my first trip to Canada, and everything was almost okay until the actual padding, which is a original TRW pad. There is a glue that the factory applied, so it's actually sticking close to the into the caliper itself, the housing of the caliper, so it's to avoid any vibration. Somehow this glue was not strong enough. Maybe I was not careful when I've been cleaning the place where it's supposed to be attached, but I did a pretty good job, I would say, by then. It's still, so this brake pad started to rattle on my way to Canada, and I decided, well, no big deal, it's just going to rattle. I'm going to come home and I'm going to fix it. So, but by the time I came home, it was another 1500 miles, and that rattling pad was rattling so much that it's been overheating the brake disc. So I decided to, well, as soon as I come home, just 1 second please, as soon as I come home, I will put those brand new discs, almost brand new discs, on a lathe machine, and I will turn rotors. So no big deal. And I did so. But I knew that, so I'm using 13 millimeter to remove the guide bolts out of the caliper. So, but I knew that if I will be replacing, if I will put those brake discs on a lathe machine, I will need to put brand new brake pads. So I had to buy brand new brake pads. I went to a local auto parts store, and they turned my rotors for 25 bucks each. And everything was really smooth after I did so. I put new brake pads, and there was no more pulsating under my pedal like before on my way back to home during the 1500 miles. So I'm unplugging my brake pad sensor and removing it, because I'm going to replace brake pads too. Now I'm going to apply a screwdriver and remove my brake caliper. Now, those brake pads are brand new. That was when I turned my rotors. And as you can see, the second brake pads, when I installed, now it's sitting pretty tight into the caliper, because there is some glue that came from the factory. So, well, actually the glue is so strong that my metal plate is now here, instead of, it was supposed to come with the brake pad, come out with the brake pad, but it did not. So now I have to do this. As you can see, I installed the original Mercedes-Benz brake pads, and everything was okay. Now, so for now I'm going to hang my caliper and be removing this bracket. Okay, so after that I had to drive back to Canada again a couple weeks later, and I drove to Canada and my brake discs got warped again. So this is my lesson, the first time and probably forever, not to turn overheated brake rotors, not to put them on a lathe machine, because unless you'll be driving inside of the city, not that far as I am, because they will get warped again. If they've been, my lesson is that this is what I came to this kind of conclusion, that if those brake rotors ever been warped, and even if you machine them, they will get warped again. There is no way you can save them. This is my opinion. Maybe some people gonna say you're wrong, but this is what I think. Now I'm going to remove the two bolts that hold in this brake caliper. So I'm going to use swivel 18mm socket because it's pretty convenient for me. Pretty strong. And I torqued it last time, but I applied the Loctite. Let's try the bottom one. Okay. I'm going to put the new bolts anyway, but still I have to remove. So this one came okay, but somehow this one doesn't want to come that easy, so I'm going to use a breaker bar. So, long story short, here's my breaker bar and 18mm. Okay, got it. Just has to be applied slightly more torque. Maybe my battery is down. I did not charge it, so it doesn't have enough torque. Okay. So originally, when I've been replacing my brake discs, I also replaced the bracket, because original brackets, they were almost 10 years old, and they had some flat spots right here on those guide pins. So I decided to buy a new one. So this is brand new. It's also 6 months old. Now, some of you might think that, let me move this. Some of you might think, well, maybe you have a problem with the brake caliper. No, I can reassure you that I don't have any. This is T30, by the way. Yeah. I can reassure you that I don't have any problems with the brake caliper. Piston is not seized. Those sliders are moving freely without any problems. So this is not the problem. The problem is that it's either this particular vehicle that I have is applying so much brakes so often during this cruise control system, which is a Distronic Plus. As you can see on my windshield, I have 2 stereo cameras on the windshield. So that means that my vehicle have a Distronic Plus. If you will look on the front grille, I have this Distronic Plus plate. So this vehicle is actually just like a Tesla, basically steering for me and braking for me. But it's braking so often that maybe it's braking too much. Maybe those discs cannot handle so much heat from the brake pads, because it's applying brakes every time you driving too fast on the curves, or you driving during the wet weather, or if there's a vehicle in the front of you. So it's constantly applying brakes to keep the distance between you and the vehicle in the front of you. So maybe this is the reason. I am assuming that factory should figure this out when they've been manufacturing this vehicle, but my situation is a little bit different because I'm driving 3,000 miles up north in different type of conditions and climate and weather, this and that. So, and another reason why it could get warped, because I bought brake discs. It says there is a Mercedes-Benz logo and there is a Brembo logo, but unfortunately when those brake discs came to me in the packaging, didn't say anywhere if it's made in Germany, made in USA, made in China. Honestly, I am assuming this is Chinese product, and I'm assuming that the manufacturing is not the same quality as used to be on original brake discs, because the original brake discs, they lasted 80,000 miles, and this is looks like original, but there's no stamped anywhere where it's been manufactured, and there was nothing on the boxes either. So for this reason I decided to dig a little bit deeper, and I decided to go with the Zimmermann made in Germany brake disc. As you can see, made in Germany, and now they are drilled. Hopefully this will solve my problem with overheating, because I do drive a lot and I'm going to drive to Canada again pretty soon. So I can give you a feedback if you are interested, if it was worth it to upgrade or not. Now the difference between this brake disc and that one, it's only 20 bucks. So just because they are already drilled, it's already worth the 20 bucks, my opinion. Plus, even on the disc itself, you can see it says made in Germany. So I guess those guys, they know what they're doing, even though this is not the part that you can order from a dealer. You have to order them from Zimmermann company, and it was not that easy to find the match right away, because it's a little bit complicated menu that they have. They have basically vehicles options for European vehicles. There was no American vehicles listed, but I was able to find the match. Now, plus, if you can see, those brake discs, they've been even balanced. So you see this, they shaved off some of the weight of the disc. So hopefully this is going to solve my problem with overheating, because the looks like original Mercedes-Benz did not last it 6 months. I've been reading a lot online before I decided to go with those brake discs. I've been reading a lot online that lots of people having problems with the warped rotors of Mercedes-Benz. I never had. I was driving original once, but I never had this issue. But well, I did not drive that much to Canada before as I do right now. Plus the summer was extremely hot this year. The temperature was much hotter than usually, if you know. So the climate is definitely changing and having some impact. Now when you will be replacing a brake disc, you have to clean this area really good, at least with a metal wire brush, or have a tool like this, so you can Mine was cleaned pretty good, but I decided to show you what I'm using and what brand it is. It's a made in US. You can buy this for 30 bucks from eBay, and you're gonna have 4 plus number 5, yeah, 5 adapters, and you're gonna have for a few more vehicles, let's say that. Okay, now I am almost ready to install my brake disc, but I'm going to install my brake pads first. So first of all, I'm going to clean the same area where the glue was applied before. You remember I've been telling you that the brake pads will have to be glued to the caliper. So I am going to use a sandpaper and clean this pretty good until I see a clean shiny metal, and use a brake cleaner to clean it. Okay, so now I'm going to use this type of a scraper that I have. You can buy it at any Walmart probably, or auto parts store, and I'm going to clean this area until all of this glue is going to be removed. Plus, after I'm done, I'm going to apply a sandpaper and clean it. As you can see, we're almost done. Scrape it again until I see this bare metal without any glue residue. Now, from my previous experience, I did exactly the same, to be honest with you, but I have no idea why the brake pad came out and did not stick to this surface. Maybe I should apply maybe drop of a crazy glue. I don't know. Almost there. Just the final cleaning, because I don't want to have same experience that it will not stick into the surface. Okay, well, I think I did pretty good job. I think I did pretty good job, and I'm going to clean it with a brake cleaner now. Okay, and apply it. I'm using a okay. I guess I don't have to show you any more what to do, because you already understand that this is supposed to be maximum clean. Okay, now let me show you something before I'm going to install brand new brake pads. Obviously I cannot reuse my previous brake pads, because I am using new brake discs. So every time you replacing brake discs, you have to put new brake pads. Plus this one came out already, so I would not be able to reuse it anyhow. Now this time I decided to go with the same original TRW brake pads, but ceramic. So hopefully it will help me with the overheating issue also. Now this is interesting thing, that this is TRW that came with a self-adhesive double-sided tape, original Mercedes-Benz brake pads, and this is the second set that came with this self-adhesive tape. But when I ordered those, the ceramic ones, they did not come with this double-sided tape. They were just bare metal. So I contacted where I bought it from, which is I believe that was a FCP, and I asked them how come there is no double-sided tape. They said, well, there is no need for one, even though that two previous brake pads had double-sided tape. So I decided to go on eBay and buy myself a 3M double-sided tape. This is the numbers that you can see. This is what I ordered. It's like $3. So I cut that, and now I applied already on brake disc. I'm going to remove that and apply it. I just wanted to stick to the same design as original factory they've been doing. So this is up to you if you want to do that or no. But this is what I'm doing. And now let's try to install brake pads. I did not clean my brake hub yet. Yeah, make it really clean, rust free, because your new brake discs have to be really flush with the brake hub. Otherwise it's going to wobble slightly, and it's going to you will have uneven brake pad wear. Okay, so let's try to install brake pads, and then I will install the brake disc. Now I need to compress my piston, so I don't have a original tool. I'm just gonna have this big clamp. And compress. That's it. It's there. Easy. If that brake caliper would be, brake piston would be seized, I would not be able to compress it that easy. Now, I replaced those bushings already, the sliders, because you know, after 8 or 9 years, I decided, well, they are so cheap, why not to replace them? So I put a special lubricant inside, and I do lubricate them maybe every 2 years. And I do lubricate my brake pads before every winter, I would say, especially if I drive up north to Canada. Now I'm going to gently leave it like that, and that's where I'm going to use my brake pad this way, right here. So I'm going to remove this self-adhesive tape. I'm going to remove my gloves too, just to make this easy. Just like that. Just like that. Now again, this is up to you what I did with this double-sided tape. This is my experience and this is my story. I just don't want to be, I want to have exactly same good brake pads as they were before. Now somehow this one is going pretty tight on this spot right here. I don't want to compress with the clamp, because I don't want to touch this surface. So I'm going to use my old brake pad and maybe compress it that way through the old brake pad. Okay. 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 So as much as possible to the caliper itself. The rest of it, caliper will do it and will compress it when I'll be applying my brakes. So as long as you can make it as close as possible, this is 1 mil, no big deal for now. Now I'm going to use my other side brake pad, but be careful, because on Mercedes-Benz you have to follow this arrow, because if you will apply to the wrong side, because both brake pads are identical, but one of them arrow is facing one way, another arrow is facing that way. So you have to actually think how that arrow going to go. Like if I'm going to install this pad this way, like the way it is right now, and look on the back of the brake pad, my arrow is facing up, which is good because my wheel is turning to the front. If I would install this opposite brake pad for my left side, then if I look on the back, my arrow is facing down. So when the wheel will be turning that way, arrow is going against. So this is, you have to differentiate right and the left side. So make sure that you look at the arrow, imagine how it's going to be installed, and look if it's facing up. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of grease. Now there is a different kinds of grease on the market. You can buy one of those which is working really well. I also have original Mercedes-Benz grease, brake assembly lubricant, as you can see. They are not even manufacturing those. This is Japanese, I believe, maybe American. I have to look it up who manufactured them. Switzerland, it says. No, made in Germany actually, I'm sorry. But this is Molykote. Molykote, as long as you have this part number, CU7439. So this is what Mercedes-Benz recommend. And this is what I'm going to use for just applying slightly right here. Okay. 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 Just a thin layer. Let's say that. And that's enough. Okay. Now again, there's so many different brands on the market. There's a Plasti-Lube, there is a Liqui Moly, there is a Mercedes-Benz original. TRW actually gave me a little bit of lube, ceramic disc brake lubricant. I didn't use it because I like this one actually better, but so it's up to you which one you're going to use. By the way, this is not the same one that goes into those sliders. Sliders, they use a special silicone paste for that purpose, for that special place, I mean. Okay, now we have here, and now I'm going to basically I'm done here, except I'm going to hook it up one more time to my brake spring. Just leave it like that, and now I'm ready to install my brake discs. Now, because I live in a really good climate here in the United States, we live in Washington State, we don't have any salt, I do not apply any lubricant here, I mean anti-seize, but this is up to you. If you live in some areas that they do apply salt on the roads, maybe you want to apply some anti-seize lubricant. Now I use brand new gloves because I don't want to have these brake discs to be marked from my fingers. And now I'm going to use same little screw. Sometimes if you buy new brake discs, they give you this screw, but since this is aftermarket, they did not provide that screw. That screw just holding the disc to the hub, that's all. So I'm going to apply one drop of a Loctite, and oops, sometimes it's not that comfortable to working with gloves. Maybe this is a wrong size gloves. That's why it's like that. But okay. So why I'm using brand new gloves? Because of the just little bit of torque, nothing crazy. I don't want to clean my brake disc after I'm done, because the actual brake cleaner will erase this silver paint that they have. So I'm trying to stay away from a brake cleaner for now, while it's brand new. Now let me show you. This is my previous bracket that I replaced. It lasted for 10 years. I just wanted to show you the spots. If you see, this is a flat spots. I hope you can see it on the camera. So it's been worn out. That's why I replaced them. So that was my reason why I replaced. This is like 80 bucks each, made in France. So this is my old one, and this is my new one that I just removed half an hour ago. Going to clean it. I'm going to lubricate it again. Okay. Okay, now I'm ready to install my bracket, and as I said before, I will be installing new bolts. I'll be installing new bolts. I don't want to reuse my old ones, because the old ones are worn out, let's say that, and when I've been replacing brake disc before, I broke one of those bolts. So I think it just life expectancy is almost over on those bolts. Maybe I over torque somehow, but still. So anyway, I have brand new bolts, and that's what I'm going to install on this. Bolts already comes with a blue Loctite, so I don't have to apply nothing. Okay. And to speed up this turning process, I'm going to apply my gun, but not all the way. I'm going to retorque it with the wrench. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to use my torque wrench, and I'm going to set my wrench at 115 newtonometers. I'm sorry, I always mistake that, newtonometers. So 115, that's the factory. That's the factory numbers. Okay. For this particular application, my flex wrench is working really well. I really like it. If you would be working underneath of your vehicles, I guess you don't care, but in this type of a job, this is nice. Okay. Now I'm ready to install my new brake caliper, and unfortunately, manufacturer of the ceramic brake pads, which is a TRW brand, they provided only with the new brackets, but not with a bolt. So I'm going to reuse my old bolts. If your bolts are not clean from the previous glue, Loctite glue, you have to clean it, and now you have to reapply the Loctite blue color, and we're going to torque that to 25 newtonometers when we apply when we install our brake caliper. Now, okay, just like this. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to lubricate here and there. So let's get my lubricant. And I'm going to apply slightly of that lubricant here, so it's going to slide freely. Okay. And here, 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 and here. That's it. Nothing crazy, just what you need. Now, when you will be installing, you have to press with your fingers this slider to install it in place on the bottom too, and then it will slide on freely. Now we are ready to install our bolt, and torque it to 25 newtonometers. And where's my other bolt? Just a second. Now apply slightly 1 drop of glue, Loctite glue, nothing, not too much. You don't need too much of the glue. And for your bottom screw. Now I'm going to tighten this with my hand, and then with a torque wrench, as I said before, to 25 newtonometers. Everything in newtonometers in German vehicles. Well, that's how it is. Okay, so I don't like digital wrenches, to be honest with you. They're really convenient if you have a good battery and if you have those batteries handy, but sometimes I'm in the middle of project and the battery is dead and I have to go to the store, or maybe I should get the rechargeable ones, I don't know. Okay, 25. 25. We are done here. Now next step is installing our ABS, or not ABS, I mean the brake wear sensor. It's actually telling you that it's actually when your brake pads reach a minimum thickness, it's going to send you a signal on the dashboard that you need to replace your brake pads. Okay, well, next and last, almost last, is installing this spring that holding brake pads. So be very careful and maybe use goggles, because this spring can jump and even give you some injuries into your eyes, just like that. Well, guys, we all done installing my wheel and torquing wheel with the 96 newtonometers with my torque wrench, and we're good to go. This is my brake replacement procedure and upgrade. I hope it was helpful for you, and God bless you. Bye.